In today's halacha, we will discuss a custom that many Yidden have throughout the month of Elul, which is to send the Mezuzos and or the Tefillin for checking by a sefer to make sure that everything is written properly and that everything is fine. What is the source of this minhag? Is it an obligation? Is it a minhag? And how often, mitzadazin, from the letter of the law, is one required to check his tefillin and check his mezuzos? So in Shulchanaruchharav, in the Alter Rebbe, in Siman Lamed Tes, in the laws of tefillin, it's brought down that from the letter of the law, a person's tefillin never have to be checked if he wears them regularly, such as on a daily basis. Once a person's tefillin has been written and sealed inside of the box in a kosher method, we never assume that anything damaging or invalidating has occurred to those tefillin. That is the letter of the law, halachic ruling in the Shulchanaruchharav. Only in a case that one does not wear the tefillin often, or that someone visibly sees something that could have caused damage, such as it's soaked in water or stayed out in the sun, is one required to send it for checking. But otherwise, there's no requirement to send it for checking. Regarding mezuzos, the Mechaber writes in the laws of mezuzos in Yerideo, chapter 291, that a mezuzah is only required to be checked twice every 7 years, which is approximately once every 3.5 years. While if it's a publicly owned mezuzah, only has to be checked once every 50 years, it only has to be checked twice every 50 years, once every 25 years, as the sages were not so particular regarding a public owned mezuzah. The reason of the difference between the mezuzah and tefillin is because mezuzahs are found by the wall and they receive moisture and wetness which could erase and cause letters to evade and evaporate. And that's why mezuzahs are more severe in their checking than our tefillin. This is all from the letter of the law. So where does this come from that we send tefillin to be checked and mezuzahs to be checked every single year in Elul? So interestingly, although it's not brought down the halacha, there is a mechilta which was written in the times of the Tanoim, mechilta of Rav, in Shmos, chapter 13, halacha 10, which it brings, and it's also brought in the Tanchuma. They bring in the name of Beis Hillel that the pasuk says regarding tefillin miyam yamima, that a person shall wear it that a person wears it miyam yamima. And the words miyam yamima, the mechilta expounds to mean that a person should check his tefillin every 12 months. That from day to day means in this context, says the mechilta, that every 12 months would have to check his tefillin. So we see a clear marker, a clear source for our custom in the mechilta and in the Tanchuma. However, this is not brought down the halacha. Nonetheless, the later Achainim, the Matei Ephraim, the Kids Shulchanaruchharav write that the custom eventually became the meticulous Jews check the mitzvahs and check to make sure the tefillin and mezuzos are kosher during the month of Elul. And the Matei Ephraim concludes that this is a good custom. As explains the Kerem Shleimai, that although from the letter of the law, obviously we don't rule like this opinion in the Mechilta that requires checking every year. However, it is indeed a pious act, and it is indeed a proper thing to do. The Rebbe took this Hasidic, this ruling of above the letter of the law, which is a Hasidic ruling, as a Hasid goes above and beyond, and turned to the public and asked it to be followed on a wide scale. And the Rebbe gave 2 reasons why he is publicizing this matter, and the Rebbe asks for this matter to be publicized also to others. And the reasons that the Rebbe gave is because, number one, in today's times, many times parchments are forged, and the forgeries are more common than in previous times. There are many stories that people were given actually printed words, printed papers that were placed into the tefillin or into the mezuzos. So it's important that it be checked to verify that that's not the case. As well, the idea itself of checking the mezuzos brings extra bracha and extra intent of Hashem to give a ksiva v'chsima tova to that family, to that house. And it's for these 2 reasons that the Rebbe emphasized that every person should endeavor to have their tefillin and mezuzos checked during the month of Elul. With regards to what some people ask, that what happens if I had it checked in middle of the year? Do I have to check it again in Elul in order to fulfill this custom piety? So the answer to this is no. The idea of checking once a year is that it should be checked within 12 months. But if it was already checked prior within 12 months, and there's no reason to check it twice within 12 months. This is clear from the Mechilta, which is the source of this whole act of piety, which requires only once within a year, as well as written in Igros Kodesh of the Rebbe in a number of letters that it only applies if it wasn't checked within the past 12 months. So anyone who checked the Tefillin and Mezuzos during the year does not have to recheck them during Elul, even as an act of piety.